So, I just wanted to make a quick video about a recent article I read about marriage. And usually I see these videos and articles about marriage and partnership, and I think they're just kind of goofy, kind of cheesy. I just really don't put too much stock into them, put too much thought into them. But this one kind of hit home for me in a way that even I could understand, a guy that has very little emotion. And it made sense to me. I'm very analytical, much more than emotional. And it really struck a chord with me where they say marriage is 50-50. And after reading this article, they explained that's absolutely not true. Marriage is not 50-50. And I'll tell you why. Because, you could have a bad day and you could maybe only be at like 30% by the end of that day. 30% is all you got left in you by the end of that day. You get home, you got 30%. At that point, you need to tell your partner, hey, I only got 30% left in me. So then your partner knows, okay, I got to carry 70%, so we're still good for tonight. And, it could be vice versa, the other way one day. The other partner has a bad day, or just not a bad day, but a really long day. They worked really hard that day, and maybe they only got 20% left in them by the time they get home. And, that means that other partner, they got to carry 80% to get them through that night. And sometimes it will happen where you both get home and you only got like 10% apiece left. And when that happens, you need to sit down with your partner and talk to each other and say, look, this is what's going on today. I only got 10% left in me. They say they only got 10% left in them. And that's when you talk about it. What can we do to get through tonight so we're not going at each other, so we're still supporting each other, even though we each only have 10% left in us for the day, for tonight? So marriage is never 50-50. It is never going to be 50-50. And that absolutely makes sense to me because, you're not always going to have 50% that day. You're not always going to be able to be matched at evenly 100% that day. Some days you're going to have 10%. Some days you'll have 60%. Other days you'll have a great day. You'll have 90%. But you got to keep fluctuating, those percentages each day based on what you're feeling, how you're doing that day, and keep that line of communication open with your partner. It's not 50-50, but it is about keeping that line of communication open and letting your partner know, hey, here's the percentage I'm at today. And, even for me, a guy that doesn't like being social, doesn't like talking, doesn't like communicating, that definitely made sense to me. And I think that that's something, I know it's something I'm going to try following, now with my wife to try and strengthen our relationship. But I definitely recommend it and thinking about it that way, not 50-50. And if you're doing good and they're not really picking up and they're not covering what they need to, check in with them. Think of this logic and ask them why, what's going on with them. Keep that communication open. Don't just assume marriage is 50-50 because it never is, it never will be. And this is a really great analogy. It's not 50-50. It's what percentage am I at today, what percentage are they at today, and how can we make this work for each other.